guys, it's Kat the Book Nerd. I thought I would talk to you about all the books that I have on my currently reading list on Goodreads. There's quite a few. I've got 22 books that I've supposedly started and at some point or another kind of, okay, not given up. I haven't given up. They're still technically on my TBR shelf. I've just sort of started, and you know how it goes. Sometimes you get distracted. You might not be into it, and something else might come along that holds your interest far more. So you put that one aside, and then you read another one, and then maybe you found another one that you guessed. You get the idea. You get stuck. It's the sequel to Vivian versus the Apocalypse. I quite enjoyed the first one. I thought it was I didn't rate it that high. I think it was like 3.5, which I guess isn't terrible. But the second one was going okay until I think I only got like 45% of the way through, and I was finding it a little bit slow, and there were other books that were coming out and I was just eager to move on. I don't even think I've got the book anymore. I think I might have actually given that away. So I guess I should probably DNF that, given that I doubt I'm going to actually finish it. I was looking forward to the spin-off of Beautiful Creatures. I liked Ridley and I thought she was a really good character, funny, stood up for herself. But when I got the book, I just wasn't feeling it. It was a bit, I don't know, maybe it had been quite a while since I read the Beautiful Creatures books. And it just wasn't a story that was gripping me, that made me want to read it. It didn't make me, oh, I must read this. And it's sad. I mean, it's still on my TBR shelf. Because I only actually got like 2 or 3 chapters into it, so I'll probably give it another shot. 1.5 novella thing from This Is Not a Test, and I really enjoyed This Is Not a Test, and I guess enjoying the novella, but because it's ebook, and for those of you that don't know, I'm terrible at reading ebooks. I really am. I will go on NetGalley on a spree and I'll just get all the ebooks, and then, you know, half of them I haven't read because by the time I get round to it they're already published, and so I just go out and buy the book. Even then sometimes it doesn't work out, but Please Remain Calm, it's not even that long. It's a freaking novella. I mean, it shouldn't take me that long to read it, but I think because it was in ebook, I was more preoccupied with printed books, and I figured, you know, I can come back to it later, so I probably will. I love Poison Study, Magic Study, Fire Study, all that. I love that series. And I was really looking forward to Shadow Study, but then somebody said to me that Valak was actually in his late 30s, early 40s, and that ruined it for me. I don't know whether, I think because when you have an image in your head and then somebody bursts that bubble and says, actually no, that person looks like that, it's really hard to get over that, to get over the image. And so I was just a bit put off, really, because I thought that Valak was actually maybe early 20s, and I don't know, it was a different image in my head. It doesn't quite fit, so it's completely put me off. Maybe I'll get round to reading Shadow Study another time, but I don't know when. Now, this one I got off NetGalley before it came out. I was really looking forward to it because I'd heard so many people say, oh, it's really good, and I thought the story was intriguing, but I'm terrible with ebooks, so I could be reading forever and ever and ever, and it turns out when I got the book, when it came out, it turns out I'd only read like 10% or something on the ebook, and I was like, is that it? I thought I'd read like 5 or 6 chapters. But no, turns out I hadn't. So, and I was finding the story a bit boring, but it's one of those things where I don't like to DNF a book unless I've given it 3 or 4 goes. It's ridiculous. Some books I won't even give up on. It's that sad. I'm like, I am determined to read this. So I got this one off NetGalley again, much like The Accident Season. I got it also when it came out published, and I just couldn't get into it. I mean, I found out I'd only read 15 pages, and then I'm just not really, no. I might give it another go. I've still got it on my TBR, so it's one that's probably going to sit there for decades. I got the book when it first came out, and everyone was saying how brilliant it was, and though I love Rachel Kane's writing, the story was a bit heavy for me. Well, not the story, okay, the writing, the way it was done. So I thought I'd get the audiobook, because when I heard the preview, the narration was really good, and it is good. I like the guy who does it really well, all the voices and such. So it's not so much that I've stopped reading the story or the book, I've just stopped the print, so I'm carrying on with the audio. I got like a few chapters into this and I was just not feeling it. I don't know, maybe mood or something, but a lot of people were like, oh, this is brilliant, and it just wasn't. I'm sorry, not for me anyway, not my kind of thing. And yet it's still on my TBR. It's, why is it still there? 1, 2, 3. This one I got sent from the publisher, and I felt really bad because I thought that I would love it. I'd loved all the other Shopaholic books, and Sophie Kinsella is one of my favourite contemporary writers, but I think because I first read the Shopaholic books years ago, like definitely the first 4, and I didn't realise she'd continued to number 8, but I thought I'd give it a try, and no, just wasn't ringing for me. I was a bit bored, honestly, but it's one of those things where, because it's a book that I don't really want to give up on it yet, so I'm keeping it on my currently reading until I have decided that I have completely given up hope. This one I started last year, and then I started it up. I tried again, I still couldn't get into it. I mean, I read about 10 chapters. I've given it a fair amount of time to get used to it, but I don't understand how how people really love it, because I love Rachel Hawkins' other stuff, but this one, it was a ridiculous story, and I really wanted to finish it though, because of maybe it would change my mind at near the end, so I'm keeping it there. Keeping it. There's nothing rich folks love. This I started. I didn't really get far into it, maybe 3 or 4 chapters, and I just got sidetracked by new stuff. You know, new and shiny books coming out. I can't help but be enticed. You know, books draw me in. Now this one is kind of as simply that I started it and got sidetracked. It wasn't that I was bored, it was that I'd got the book from the charity shop for 5.50p, and I was like, well, I'd rather go through the books that I've paid a lot for. I got this Summer in the City last year. It was free on a seat. Somebody left it there, and it sounded good actually, but then I got like halfway and it was just really annoying, and I'm not really sure. I think I'm going to DNF it, because there's no point keeping it on my currently reading if I'm not reading it. This one I got at Summer at the City last year as well, and I was looking forward to it, and I started it, and it's kind of one of those stories that really involves a lot of concentration on my side of things, so I really need to have a clear head and not be distracted. This one I heard great things about, so I went out and got it, and I don't know, maybe I wasn't in the right mood, but again I got sidetracked. I swear I must have like ADD or something, because I get sidetracked by anything that's like, ooh, I must have like shiny things. No. this one I got like a few chapters in and I was so fucking pissed off by the characters. I don't even know. I felt like I should give it another go at some point though, because so many people are like, this is 5-star brilliance, and I'm like, where, how, what, why, when? So yeah. Again, one that people loved. I got it actually as an ARC from ComicCon like 3 years ago, and no, wait, 2014. No, wait, when did I get it? God, did I only get it last year? Anyway, I don't remember. Sorry, getting sidetracked. Yeah, I just wasn't feeling it. This one I decided to go on to order. I got the audiobook first and then I decided to get the paperback because I like to keep a copy if it's an author that I really like, or a book that I think I'm going to like a lot. I like to buy the print so I have it to go with all my other, you know, Rick Riordan books. So but this one is really slow going because just I've got so much else to read. God. I am not throwing away my shot. I am not. Now I love Red Queen. It was one when I took a while to really like a slow burn, but eventually I loved it. And Glass Sword, so many people are like, oh, this is brilliant, but I don't know, I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up on that, but it definitely means that I need to have a solid time slot where I don't have anything else to read, you know, like I'm trying to get through my TBR and it's pretty bad. I got this one sent from the publisher and I felt really bad because I was reading it and it just wasn't clicking. I wasn't enjoying it, and probably because I wasn't in the right mood. You really, for contemporary, for me, I have to be in the right frame of mind for it, because if I've been reading fantasy, I will keep wanting to read fantasy until I burn out that genre, you know, and then I can move on. So this one, I was trying to finish it before Y'all West. I epically failed, and then I got distracted by other new books when I got back, and then I keep going back and forth. I need to finish The Darkest Minds anyway, but it's not higher on my list. And as to the current book I am reading, currently reading Furthermore by Tahara Murphy, and I'll let you know what I think about it at the end of the month wrap up. So that's it. That is the currently reading list that I have on Goodreads, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you've read any of the books or want to read any of the books, please comment down below, subscribe, give me a like, and I will see you again soon with another video. Bye!